story. But first, a little backstory. What was going on before you decided to start your own preschool? Where were you in life? What's your background, education, work? I mean, I'm not trying to get, the whole down low, but what was going on, girl?
Okay, so prior to me starting my preschool, I was a tutor. I still am a tutor.
Okay.
Mostly the students I receive are pre-K, so about third or fourth grade.
Okay.
I also was teaching part-time. I had a daughter, so I was teaching before, and I stopped after I had my daughter.
Okay.
And
With the
one
public school or private school?
private school, private
Okay.
school. And one of the teachers that was teaching at the time had gotten pregnant, and she had a bad pregnancy, so she had to stop teaching earlier than they expected. They asked me to come and fill in for her
Okay.
the rest of the school year.
So how long did you do that? How long did you work at the private school?
Well, this year was from November to the end of school year, November last year to the end of this year.
Okay.
And prior to that, I worked there 2 years before that.
Okay.
It was my third year.
Okay. And how old's your kid?
She's 2.5.
2.5. Okay. So what were you enjoying working at the private school? Were you looking for something else? What was your thought on that?
Well, it was not too bad because it was virtual
Okay.
because of COVID.
Mhm.
However, my daughter, my husband and I do not feel comfortable putting her in daycare or anything like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we both decided I would stay home with her. And with it being virtual, I was like, okay, I can do that.
Mhm.
Even with me, and it wasn't that bad with her, but I felt like my focus was more on other children than it was on her
Right.
in the morning time. So I would get her breakfast in between classes during my prep time. I'll get her food together and stuff. And then she would sit in her room and do different things. But it wasn't like my focus was not on her like it was before.
Right.
And and then even all the extra stuff that comes with being a teacher, the paperwork and all the things you have to do to
Mhm.
comply to that school and meet their expectations, it was a lot. It was overwhelming more so. And that wasn't even full time. I worked the first half of the day,
Mhm.
but still it was a lot for me. And it was a lot
Yeah.
having a toddler. And like I said, I felt like so much of my attention was on other stuff.
Right.
So I knew going forward that I would not return. And I told her I would not return the next year, that I could not do that again. And I got the ad that came up on my Facebook for Joy's book. And I got it, I think when she was 1 year old. Right after she turned 1, I ordered the book and I read it, but I was doing so much other stuff. I said, okay. And I always wanted a school. I told my husband that years ago.
Mhm.
And so it just worked out. I was like, this would be perfect because she's at the right age. She'll be 3 in March. So I'm
Okay.
starting her this year when I start my students. And she
Perfect.
can just grow up with the program.
Yeah. 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 That's awesome. I know. That's what I'm really excited that my kid, he's only 5 months, but that he'll be able to like go to school here. That'll be like
Yeah,
so fun for
right.
him. I feel like, and he'll grow up in this environment and see
Everything's
kids,
so
but
close knit
also,
and it's small. So,
yeah,
the parents and everyone know each other. Well,
exactly.
we'll know each other.
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
It's such an awesome environment to grow up in as a kid, I feel like. Yeah.
right.
Awesome. Okay. So now let's come a little more present. What's going on with your preschool now? What did you decide to do?
So just to start off, I decided to do an online preschool.
Okay.
Um, my first day of doing a founder script, I think I got 4 or 5 paid
Nice.
signups.
And how long ago was that?
um, I didn't start, I think in August,
Okay. Oh, wow. So you're just getting started.
just getting started.
Nice.
Because I was wrapping up everything because of school. I
Right.
had to work more. They didn't finish till June 18th was my last day.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then I was still tutoring.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I took a break from both of those. And then I was tutoring from 10, 11 in the morning to about anywhere from 6, 1 month, yeah, to 6.
Oh,
And
wow.
breaks in between. But I
Yeah.
had a lot of kids that wanted, and I had to, eventually stop and made a wait list
Mm-hmm.
for my students.
How did you get all your clients for tutoring?
How did that work out? Before mostly word of mouth.
Okay.
parent heard about me, and she had asked. One of my friends told her about me, and she asked, and I did really well. Her daughter did really well. We worked together really well. When we started, she didn't know her letters. I think like maybe 10 letters. No, she knew all her letters, but she only had like 10 sounds that she knew like solidly that each letter made.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the school year, she would surpass her class.
Nice.
So her mother was so impressed, and she's told like so many, like a lot of my parents are from just one mother who
That's
just tells
amazing.
everyone,
Yeah,
and they all sign up, and it just worked out that way.
that's
Like even
great.
now, one of my students is her godson, another one is her niece. I have her daughter, and then her cousin, who's a third grade teacher, not too far from me. She gave her my information for this school year, and she's been asking, and I told her I can't take any more kids.
Oh man, you're full up?
Yeah, I was full. I was full up. Yeah,
That's
this year,
awesome.
and
And how many students is that?
altogether I was tutoring 12 kids.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of
Yeah.
kids to tutor. Okay. So are you still tutoring now with your online class or did you stop that?
So I will still continue. I'm gonna do after school only though for a few hours,
Okay.
because they
Okay.
was a lot of them are still gonna continue on, who started a year ago. So because the
Yeah, it
improvement.
seems like you have quite the following.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes. So that helped out with when I launched the founder script. So a lot of my parents who already knew me as a tutor, and even a lot of people in the area apparently knew me,
Hmm.
knows me as being a good teacher. So they told everyone they knew, and a lot of people I got a lot of recommendations off of that as well.
Perfect. So you just started your online class?
I'm starting on October 4th.
Oh, in
I'm
October.
going
Okay.
out of town in September,
Okay.
and I didn't want to have to take a long break in between.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I decided to start after I come back.
Okay. Awesome. So how many kids you have signed up so far?
7.
Nice. And that's mostly just from your founding family script?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. And so tell me how that class is going to work. What are the times? What are you going to be doing? What's the pricing?
Okay. So my times are Monday through Friday, not Friday, excuse me, Monday through Thursday,
Okay.
12 to 12:30. Right now it's just one class, just to see how everything goes and how the workload is and everything. um, there is Tuesday, Thursday, just preschool. So it's just a basic preschool curriculum, and I'm using Joy's curriculum, the basic fundamentals for
Okay.
that. And then on Monday and Wednesday, it's Islamic studies preschool.
The what? Say that again.
Islamic studies.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I'll be teaching that. So some of them, almost everyone sign up for the Monday through Thursday, where you get both the Islamic studies preschool and the regular preschool,
Awesome.
or they can choose from either one. The pricing for a Tuesday, Thursday preschool is $67 a month. And then the same thing for the Monday, Wednesday. And then for the the Monday through Thursday is $137 a month.
Cool.
Yes.
Awesome. So you have 2 days that's just the Islamic studies and then 2 days that are all preschool skills.
Mhm.
Cool. And some families are signing up for just Islamic studies or just preschool skills, and then
Yes.
some do all of it. Cool.
And yeah, I think 4 of them are doing the whole Monday through Thursday.
And are you doing live lessons or pre-recorded?
Combination of both.
Okay, cool.
Well,
So it's a half an hour long?
yes.
Okay. So are certain classes going to be live every time and pre-recorded every time, or how are you working that?
So
I'm really getting you to think about everything right now. I don't even know if you figured it all out. I'm just asking all the questions.
my plan is to have the teaching time class. So technically it'll be an hour-long class. So they have it broken up into 2 halves.
Mm-hmm.
They have 30 minutes for their teaching time class, where they'll get the day before.
Okay.
For them to review with their family that morning. And then by the time they come see me, we have a 30 minutes of live class, kind of piggybacking off of what we went over in the teaching time class.
Okay.
That's the plan.
So will there be live every day or every other day is live?
Every day is live.
Every day is live. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. And how are you feeling about it? Are you
I'm
excited to
excited.
get
Yeah,
started? Are
I'm
you
really
nervous?
excited.
Yeah.
I love teaching, so that works out good. I think the only thing that was really with teaching in a school district, whether it's private or public, is the other expectations that you have to carry,
Mm-hmm.
paperwork, um, the testings and the different
Yeah.
things. And some stuff I don't agree at how that school, does certain things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not my school, so I just have to roll with it.
Yeah,
And
totally.
now I have my skills out, all those things that I would see and be like, this could be better this way. Or
Mm-hmm.
if they had, done this instead of this. So now I can implement those ideas I had before in my own school.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's one of
And
the
if it
best
doesn't
parts.
work, I can change it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. What would you say your biggest hurdle or roadblock has been thus far in your journey?
Probably managing time because I sometimes I get caught up in one thing and I get focused on that. And then right now I'm potty training my daughter. We're potty training her. So I'm like in between. I set my timer. It
Yeah.
takes her to the potty, and doing everything else I have to do at the house. So just making time for everything and
Mm-hmm.
myself as well.
Mm-hmm. So did you do one of Joy's challenges to get started, to get set up?
Yes, I did the 30-day challenge. Um, and then I did the 60-day hub training challenge as well.
Okay. So you're on the hub. You got the hub set up.
Yeah, I did this. Yes.
Awesome. And how did it feel? How did it feel going through that challenge? What were you thinking during all that? Was it, I don't know. Tell me your thoughts on that as you were going through the challenge, setting it all up.
I thought I like that it was that she has it set up so you can do it at your own pace.
Mm-hmm.
Since I started so late, I was kind of like rushing through it, really working those, getting everything together.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to certain stuff that I couldn't do that day. I went through the lesson and then came back to it at a later date when I knew I could complete it.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed that. And it helped put everything together, like setting everything so everything goes smoothly, making sure everything's in place so that it was professional. The script was really well written. Like everything was just it was easier than having to come up with everything on your own.
Yeah,
Kind
totally.
of have like that outline and you just
Mhm.
fit inside, that outline,
Yeah.
what your ideas are.
Yeah. And how did it feel to get that first sign up?
It was great. Oh, it was super. It was my sister-in-law because she was talking about starting with her daughter's 6 months older than my daughter.
Okay.
And she had said something, and I didn't even tell her I was starting a preschool. I had only told my husband just in case. At the last minute, I was like, "Oh, it's too much. I can't do it."
Yeah.
And so when she put it up there, she's like, "I can't believe you're starting this preschool." Didn't say anything. Where I gotta send my money to? I was like, "Okay." And I sent her,
Nice.
and it was like right after that, people just kept sending them and or requesting more information.
Awesome. Awesome. And are you going to what are you going to cap your class at? I know you said you have 7 signed up right now. How high are you going to go for one class?
I think the most in any class would be I was keeping no more than 8.
Okay. And so
One,
if you get, I mean, all you need is 2 more to make it past 8. Are you going to start another class?
yes, if it gets
Just
more than 8, I was gonna say I'll start because I left my tutoring. It'll be late enough in the day that I could kind of squeeze in an extra class or even in the morning time because my morning's free.
Mhm.
And I could do an early one and an afternoon one like that.
Yeah. And you're just doing 3 to 5 year olds? Is that your ages?
2 to 5
2
online.
to 5. Okay. And have you thought about since um I mean if there's demand for the 2 to 5 year olds with doing an Islamic study for older kids and like in your community if you know a lot of people?
Um, there is a lot of places here for that. That's
Okay.
already doing that. So I wasn't
Okay. But
so
not a lot that are catering to the pre-K.
yeah, not a lot caring for the younger ones.
Yeah.
But the older kids, there's a lot of places for the and because I live in Detroit,
Okay.
there's a great Muslim community. So there's a lot of places for the older kids to go to.
Okay.
And when you start talking about the little ones,
Mhm.
there's not that many options for them.
Well, that's great then. I'm sure news will spread if you're, in the community. If there's not, if the, I mean, yeah, I guess there wouldn't. I don't know how, how services work and where you go. I know there's like when we used to go to church when I was younger, there was like Bible school, for like the preschool kids. Does your congregation have that for the younger kids?
They so we do on every Friday we have a prayer. A lot of people, it's a congregational prayer where you're supposed to come out and pray together as a community, but it's encouraged that the children stay within the whole group,
Okay.
because it's supposed to be on the guys that they're going to be the future Muslims, the Muslims of the future.
Yeah.
So they need to have this understanding as well, even if they're babies,
Mm-hmm.
their presence and their, them being there, feeling comfortable
Yeah.
and welcome is a strong to keep them coming back when they're older and they make the decisions on their own. They
Mm-hmm.
have to have that love for that place already instilled in them.
Yeah.
So it's encouraged to have the whole family come out.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see it. And I've been in places where they were praying and you hear baby crying and they take a break for the baby to stop crying. And they might prolong something so the mother can go nurse the baby and come back and still enjoy the congregation prayer.
Yeah. That's really nice to have that community.
It's
And
great.
that's awesome that you're starting this, because I feel like if there's not a place for these like lessons for the preschoolers, this is a great niche to be in. Definitely.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so what are your future plans for your preschool? I know you're just getting off the ground running. It's hard to think, into the future, but ideally, what would you like to grow this into?
I think I want to, my husband said that too. He feels like it's going to be bigger than what I think. And he's
Hmm.
right about these things. And
Yeah.
I feel like, I think I might just grow it as long as my daughter keeps growing.
Uh-huh.
So when she gets older, I probably add on kindergarten, first grade, because I've
Hmm.
taught first grade before.
Yeah.
So that's not hard for me to do. And I've taught
Uh-huh.
third grade, and I've substitute for almost a whole year for second grade. So
Hmm.
the elementary, I have experience already teaching those
Right.
grade levels and just keep growing like that. I
And
had
do
a
you want
few of
to
my parents that I tutored that wanted me to start first grade with their kids so they can enroll. I was like,
Hmm.
I'm not ready for that just yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
You
to
don't want to
get
take on too much, but it's
right.
great that they're already, they're already
Yeah,
asking. They
they're
want it.
like,
That's
"Yeah,
awesome.
are you gonna do first and second grade too? Because my kid can sign up with you." I say, no, not yet.
And do you do you want to do local or do you want to keep it online?
Eventually, I want to do local.
Okay.
Um, a friend of mine owns a building. She had offered her building to me to use.
Oh,
I just
nice.
have to sit down and talk about, the business side and everything and how that would work. But she had offered her building for me to use for my preschool
That's
last week.
amazing.
Yeah, last week.
Wow.
And I kept saying I was going to say something to her, but every time I talked to her, we just wouldn't talk about that.
Uh-huh.
And then one day we were talking and she was asking about my preschool. And she's like, will you even think about having it in my building? Because, I kind of wanted to have that building sort of for the community to come and, and you can really reach out from that area that the
Yeah.
building's at and then bring in other people. I was like, I really even thinking about it like that. I was like, because I wanted to start a local, but our house, I didn't feel like it was ready to have a
Mm-hmm.
local because we only have, because our house is, my husband is doing work to it as well. So it would just been too much going on to
Mm-hmm.
have kids there.
Right.
And so I was like, well,
Wow.
yeah. So I was like, I was like, right now we can't do that. So, and then she just came up last week. She actually mentioned to me, and we're supposed to sit down, I think, and talk about it this weekend or next weekend.
That's
So
so
hopefully,
cool.
either in January or starting next year, I will also have a local
Wow,
preschool.
that's awesome. I mean, she's offering that building and wants it to be a place where the community comes. You could
Yeah,
do so
she's
much
like,
with that.
right. She was saying, like, I've been wanting. It's like I just don't know how to do what you know how to do,
Mm-hmm.
but we can come together, and if you need me, I can help. I said,
Yeah,
okay.
that's amazing. Take
And
that
she has
help.
younger
Take that help when it's
kids,
offered.
right? So she has younger kids, and she's pregnant now, but her son is a year and a half, so he'll be enrolling soon too. So
That's
that's
great to have
hopefully.
that support.
Yes, it
Definitely.
is.
Speaking of support, how would you say that being part of the All Stars and Joy's group, everything, how has that helped you on your journey?
I really like it. I like them how you feel motivated from hearing other people's going through whatever test they're going through, and they mention, but they also tell you how on the other side the blessing came with the test, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh, I was having a hard week, nothing was going right, and then I got 4 signups out of nowhere."
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like it's just like just keep going through, keep going, because the end results are there. You just have to not give up.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
hearing that and being able to have talked to women who are either going through what you're going through and have found a solution or are looking for a solution, and then also having women who are experienced able to talk to you and kind of guide you through the different things you might be
Mhm.
struggling with or just not making sense, or even Joy herself will come in and comment on different things that the women post in the group. I think it's wonderful to hear the different sides and the different, ways that you can tackle a problem. So
Yeah.
even if you're not posting, maybe you're thinking it, but you just don't, maybe you didn't have time or you're shy. Or right when that happens, that someone posts, that's the same thing that's just happening right now. That's
Mm-hmm.
happened to me a few times. Like, oh man, and I'll look in the group and say, oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's the question I was about to ask. Thank you.
Me too. It's definitely happened to me. So, do you have any advice to any other ladies who are just starting out in this process or wondering if they should even start the journey themselves? What would you say to them?
I would say just try. If a local just seem like it's so daunting, then do it online and then see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And especially now with everything that happened with the pandemic and the shutdown, and then a possible another shutdown coming up, people are in need of educational help with their
Mm-hmm.
children. A
Yeah.
lot of the kids I get
More than ever.
right, it's kids who's falling behind and not their fault. It's just everything that's happened. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're starting out school, you're what, 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
It's hard to grasp anything with all those big changes happening.
Yeah.
When they had stopped going to school, then they went to virtual, and the transition to virtual wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
And then their teachers are struggling because they've never done online school teaching, and then
Mm-hmm.
and it's coming back on the students. And I was like, and right now, people who are educators are much needed,
Yeah.
needed bad.
Totally. You know what I was just thinking? If you have so many people, I was thinking about this because I was just speaking with one of my teacher friends who is still teaching in the district. And she just said that, like, we pretty much, most kids last year didn't get a normal education, but they're coming back into the next grade, and they're expected to just start learning the next grade stuff when they didn't even get most of their previous grade. So there's
Right.
probably so many. And then you were saying,
So
how
many.
you have so many people that want you to tutor. Have you thought of kind of incorporating a tutoring business into it? And because you don't have the time
I
to
was
do it,
just thinking
hiring
about
a
that
tutor?
today. Yeah, I was thinking about that today. Maybe like parlay into a learning center.
Yeah. I mean, even right now, if before you have the building, you can hire out a tutor. That's what a lot of the ladies are doing to teach their online class. They're hiring teachers just to teach their online class. So if you could take those clients and be like, but because I don't have the time, I'm bringing on someone else. But if they're so desperate for tutors and you can find someone who you trust, that would be kind of there's still money. That's some passive income right there when you don't.
Okay. See, I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
I didn't,
And you can even, you can train the tutor to do what
right,
you do,
exactly.
exactly. So, and you clearly have a following. People want you to tutor, and you're like, I don't have the time. So hire
Yeah,
someone.
and if I had an extra person, that would have been wonderful
Mhm.
because I could just be like, okay, this is such and such, and she'll be handling your
Yeah,
children.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think of that. That might be the next
We got
direction.
to adapt. We got to adapt.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I said, it's definitely needed
it
because
is.
I was having a wait list. Even my first year really tutoring after I had my daughter, when the right after the pandemic happened, I had a wait list in, and it's just like I can't take anyone. And then the next school year, the same thing happened. It just filled up so fast.
Yeah, there's a few ladies that are in the group that I think they do that. I don't know. I don't know if I've heard them hiring out yet, but probably so. I can't keep up. There's so many ladies in there, but a lot of them have done do like tutoring online, and they do different ages, and so definitely ask in the group. Um, what, what they suggest for that. Cause I think that would be a good, because you already have the clientele built up that are like really wanting you. I think that would be a good option to get
Right.
some,
Yeah,
get
I'm
some
gonna
more
think about
income.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, always here to help. Well, I want to thank you for speaking with me and for sharing your story. And I can't wait to hear what happens next in your journey. I'm sure I'll hear about it on the All Stars page. Keep
Oh
us.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
definitely. I wish you all the best of luck in your opening in October and whatever else you decide to do. It sounds like you could potentially have a lot of stuff coming down in the pipeline. So
Right. Thank you. Yeah. And thank you for that idea. I'm definitely gonna think about it.
yeah, of course,
It
of
makes a
course.
lot of sense.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. You can hire someone to do the work for it. And Joy always says, delegate it. So we can't do everything ourselves. We can't do everything
Right. That's
ourselves,
exactly right.
but we could, we know the know-how, we got the know-how to make it work. You have the clientele. So that's the hard part, is getting the clientele. You already have that. Hire someone and, you can always step in if you need to, but I think that's probably an awesome choice.
Yes, it is.
All right, Nikita, thank you so much for speaking with me.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Of course. You have a great weekend. Bye.
If you loved today's episode, then you are going to love this. I want to give you a free gift in your hands. This is a copy of my book, Start Your Preschool, and I want to get it to you for free. Yes, I said for free. It is a 300-page book. It'll help you learn the step-by-step process to actually starting your local or your online preschool. Every single step that I walked myself through, as well as the thousands of women who've created their own successful preschools, have gone through the exact steps listed in this book. Not to mention, I also share 20 amazing women's stories. So you can see how not only did it work for me, but it works for amazing women just like you as well. I want to get you this free copy. Just go to freepreschoolbook.com or click the link in the description and we'll get it to you today. Again, just go to freepreschoolbook.com and we'll get it right to you.